Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to the Establish the Run NBA DFS Injury Analysis Show for Monday, May 1st. That's right. We have reached May. That's how you know it's real NBA playoff times. We've advanced to the second round for all series involved as the Warriors won Game 7 with an epic Steph Curry performance last night. And we have two fun games here on tap for Monday. A Game 1 in the East with one big injury that we'll talk about in a second between Philadelphia and Boston. And a Game 2 between Phoenix and Denver, which Denver won Game 1 pretty handedly. So filling in for Drew Dinkmeyer here to talk through mostly Embiid injury, but a little bit of rotation stuff. I'm Gary Hartman, joined as always by the great Mike Gallagher. Mike, how are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, great basketball over the weekend. Steph 50 ball, Game 7. Tough to beat that for performances in a Game 7. Literally the highest ever for Game 7. So, yeah, really good. Had a pretty good gambling day yesterday. I really bet pool stuff hard. That was nice. But also did a podcast on your pod feed. I haven't done a long solo pod in a little bit. So that was fun. Definitely check that out after you check this out. Should be a pretty quick edition. But
nice.
A lot of the Eastern Conference, man. We got a lot of injuries on that side of the bracket here.
Yeah, I was at the Garden yesterday. Went to game with my dad. So, it was a fun experience, obviously. But man, the freaking Kyle Lowry, the Kevin Love. I feel like I'm being thrown back to 10 years ago with the way we're getting beat.
Lowry's so good.
And it was. I think Tuesday's a must win for the Knicks, because I definitely think they can grab a game in Miami. So I think we can get home court back. But I think Tuesday now is a must win. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But I digress. There's one major injury here today to talk about, and that, of course, is Joel Embiid. The early game is Philadelphia at Boston. Embiid listed doubtful, so I don't think we can expect him to go with the knee sprain. You never know. I guess he gets surprised, but we're not expecting Embiid. We're expecting Embiid to at least to miss Game 1. So I guess tell me through your expectations on an Embiid timeline, and then also how you expect the Sixers to fill in here.
Yeah, so let's just go over what we learned, and I'm just basically regurgitating what Shams and Woj said.
Yeah.
So Shams Charania had a report today saying that he got a PRP treatment, which usually means you're missing a week or so of time. He's not running it. Doc said he's not running. Maybe he's running today, but wasn't running yesterday. Shams had mentioned the word, quote, miracle that he plays today. But they left the door open that he goes out there. Maybe it's like, look at Embiid. He's so-and-so, but he's injured. LCL sprain's a legit injury. Shams had mentioned it was worse than a grade 1. So, if it's a grade 1, you could kind of play on those. It means there's really no tearing of the ligament. Grade 2 means there's some. Grade 3 is a rupture. Obviously, he'd be out for the season if that happened. But, it sounds like he's going to miss probably Game 1, probably Game 2, I would say, just based on getting PRP. Certainly means he's not 100%. And just, guys run so bad. He had the thumb injury, the face mask, the torn meniscus the last few years. He's just run so bad on their injuries. So, expecting him to sit. Woj, more or less the same thing, just phrased a little bit differently. So the next question is who starts, right? We kind of thought Melton may start the last game that they played, but B-Ball Paul had a really strong third quarter. Doc Rivers said after the game, he, as I like to say, #earned it on a starting role. Way different matchup, right? No Claxton, a lot of floor spacing. You need perimeter defense. I think he, still earned a starting job, but won't be surprised at all if they start Melton. And by doing that, you're putting Paul Reed kind of in the Robert Williams minutes, which I think is a little bit cleaner. So I think they'd probably start out with Paul Reed, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Melton just to give them a little bit of on-ball defense, because you're going to need that in a significant way against the Celtics.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Obviously, Melton should benefit either way from a minutes perspective. Obviously, Reed's going to be someone that we're going to have our eye on and see how they use him. Tobias Harris should benefit. PJ Tucker will benefit. And then, you could see some minutes trickle down to Niang or McDaniels or whatever. You can see what they did there against Brooklyn in that last outing. Montrezl Harrell not really involved, and I would expect to see more of that unless things are going really, really poorly with the Paul Reed stuff. I think that covers the Philly side. Hopefully, I hope that Embiid can work his way back and make the series more interesting sooner than later. We'll be all over it though. Boston side, you got anything that you're expecting? Obviously not having Embiid can match things up a little bit differently. There you go. Look at that. I think it's weird because you were just frozen as your old
my internet cut out for a second.
That's no worries. Anyway, I was saying, I was talking about all the guys that can benefit from no Embiid. hopefully we get him back sooner than later. On the Boston side, is there anything you're looking for tonight with the way that they might kind of defend up if they do start Reed, if they don't start Reed?
Yeah, just to go back to the Sixers here, just to note, I think McDaniels plays a good bit. Again, you need wing defense like so much here. So I think they've got that core seven of maybe Paul starts or he doesn't, but just assuming he does, pretty good amount of Melton. That's D'Anthony, not Shake Milton, to be clear. Pretty good amount of McDaniels, and then maybe I don't think playing Harrell makes much sense, honestly, just because again, the Celtics are going to shoot so many threes, and I think that the Sixers want to shoot some threes to offset, give a little bit of variance. So I think it could be a 7 tightish man rotation. Maybe we'll see Niang probably in there, but I think it could be pretty tight. To the Boston side, I mean, definitely think they're gonna start Derek White, right? If they did, if Embiid somehow plays, this obviously changes in a big way. We know they would just start Time Lord. Al Horford would be getting the matchup there, but I mean, no reason to think that they go away from it. You certainly need, they're going to play a little bit smaller, a couple defenders to throw at Harden. I think that makes a ton of sense. So yeah, should see the starting lineup of Marcus Smart, who played great in the last game. Smart, White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. Pretty good Robert Williams minutes. I think that they might start Grant. I think that Grant kind of took away the minutes from Sam Hauser, and I don't think they need the spacing quite as much in this matchup. So, and getting a little bit more size, I think makes sense. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon, a little bit more worried about his minutes. I think they need White and they need Smart like in a big way in this series. So I think this is kind of not a great Malcolm Brogdon series, but obviously the Jays are going to play a ton too, and tougher matchup. We talked a lot about how bad Atlanta's on-ball defense is, and Tatum was good. I thought he could have been a little bit better. I think Jaylen Brown could be in a pretty good spot with the Sixers having some spotty transition defense, but feel pretty good about this. The 7 that are going to be in, probably Grant over Hauser, in my opinion, but don't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you about the Grant of it all with this coming series. So that makes sense for sure. All right, going to late game, no one listed on the injury report on either side, so it's fully clean. You love to see that. I guess on the Phoenix side, the things to talk through, Josh Okogie, you predicted, got the start, but only played 19 minutes. Torrey Craig still played 24 and, did nothing with those 19, as you could see there on the box score. And then the other thing that we were, I guess, a little bit surprised to see, only 5 campaign minutes as he was, fully back or supposed to be fully back as of a couple games ago. Thought he would get the non-Chris Paul minutes, but, we saw 12 Damian Lee minutes, 14 Landry Shamet, unproductive minutes. So I'm curious what you think they're going to do here with kind of those secondary or tertiary sons, if you will. And you expect to see Okogie start once again as well.
He was terrible, man. Other than that putback dunk he had, he was just not in the flow of the offense, wasn't spacing the floor, wasn't moving enough, wasn't cutting, wasn't doing anything. It was terrible. Defense he got roasted by Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray roasted anyone. I don't think there was anything they could have done. Jamal Murray was just on a heater. So, I mean, I think they probably just go. I mean, maybe they start with Okogie just because that's a pretty quick hook to go into a series when you need to stop Jamal Murray. He's kind of the best option because Shamet was, oh my God, Shamet was so bad. I'll get to him in a second. But I lean Okogie starting. Not confident. I think that Craig could get some length and just cover up some, just giving him more size too, because their pick and roll coverage is really bad. So just adding a little bit more size and resistance on switches. If they did play that kind of a scheme, if he is guarding on ball, maybe he could switch on to Jokic a little bit more. So I think that makes sense from a defensive standpoint. So again, all this said, I think Okogie starts. Not confident. I think Craig's going to play a pretty good bit because he's so much better than ever. Like Shamet, dude, I don't know what the hell Monty Williams' obsession with Landry Shamet is. He loves this dude. He got roasted, man. He just comes in and they just give up leads. So I think that he's got to go away. I was shocked campaign didn't play. There was commentary in the Clippers series when the series was wrapping up that the way the Clippers play defensively, they didn't want to go to Cam. And then he said that, quote, everything's on the table about bringing Cam in. They have to. Their second unit was a complete joke. Their first unit was bad too, which we could talk about. Definitely talk more about it later on the DFS show. But I think he's got to be in there. Take pressure off Booker ball handling. I think that was really the foundation of their offense being so nasty. If your best spot up shooter, which is Devin Booker, is handling the ball, you can't shoot spot up shots when you got the ball. So I think running campaign with him, getting Booker's off ball game going, I think that makes a ton of sense to me. So I feel pretty good about him and Craig and Okogie being in there for the 7-man. And then do you go to Ross because you need shooting so bad? Do you go to Damian Lee? You need shooting. I think that Damian Lee should get the spot.
Yeah.
We know they hate Terrence Ross. Monty doesn't like him. I think playing Damian, at least Damian Lee's like tall at least.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. So I think I would lean Lee being in. But I've been wrong about Shamit for like a month now with him playing so much. But he's definitely, he's got to go.
Yeah, Damon Lee would be the guy that I would expect to see. The other thing we saw was Jock Landale, more minutes than Bismack, more impactful it seemed as well. Although that does seem like a weak spot behind Ayton.
Bismack got wrecked, man.
Yeah.
And worth noting too that they pulled Ayton out early and they staggered him in the non-Jokic minutes. That was stunning to me.
Yep.
Given the other options there, I did not like how Monty Williams. I talk about this a lot in the pod. If you guys check it out, but I thought it was a terribly coached game for Monty overall.
Yeah, big game here. Obviously, Denver's expected to win both at home, but I mean, obviously, 125, 107. That game was never competitive, really. At least after that second quarter, for sure. So tough spot there. We'll see what they do. Yeah, but I'm with you on those Shamit minutes. We'll see. I think Campaign's going to end up playing more eventually here, but
he has to.
Yeah, I would expect so. Denver side, there's really not much. I mean, I think we did pretty good job with the minutes expectations there. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jeff Green got up to 18. Bruce Brown played his 25. Christian Braun was the 8th guy there. And then that's pretty much it. Everyone else got some garbage time, but they played a pretty clean 8 with Christian Braun and Jeff Green playing in the teens.
Yeah, early sub for Christian Braun in there too. Great, 4 steals. Got the crowd cheering late in the game. So, really great game from him. Bruce was strong. Not great for us. We had an under on him. Got cooking late. Couple really big steals on Kevin Durant. Just A+ game. And talked a lot about this on the pod. They left a lot of meat on the bone. 14 steals, but their transition offense per possession was really bad. Their second chance shooting was really bad. If they make their transition shots and they make their putback shots like they usually do, we're talking about like a 25, 30-point loss here. Just an absolute demolition of the Suns. And the Suns just missed a lot of shots. They actually got a lot of shots at the rim. Booker and Durant were pretty good there as far as like getting downhill and scoring. So a lot of improvement for the Suns. Definitely excited to talk about it more later.
Yeah, definitely a deeper team, Denver, than Phoenix.
They felt that big time, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, you mentioned talking about it later. You and I will be back. I believe it's me and you again, as Drew's still down in Florida dealing with some family and wedding stuff. Congratulations to him. And so we'll be back behind the paywall at 5:00 Eastern. If you are not signed up for ETR NBA product, I don't know what you're doing. We are going super strong throughout the playoffs, and these playoff slates have been fun. And our subscribers have had a lot of success already on these playoff slates. Our projections have been on point. And we are providing all the context behind the paywall. We have top plays coming for you every day. We've got matchups pretty much every day of the regular, every weekday of the playoffs right now.
Every weekday, and then I'll do it if it's a game 1 on the weekend.
Yeah, look at Gallagher's cranking those out, and they're invaluable to your success. And then obviously, our live shows at 5:00. We provide the context behind all that stuff. So you Mike and I behind the paywall at 5. If not, we do appreciate you giving us some support over here on the YouTube channel. Please give us a thumbs up on this video. Please subscribe so you get notifications whenever we go live. And we really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. I'm not going to give the Dink verbatim speech this time, but it does helps us out a lot. And we're it's been a great season. We appreciate you guys keeping us going. Of course, someone else that keeps us going is the people that support us over at Underdog Fantasy. We are a couple days into Best Ball Mania 4, Mike. I've done 2 drafts so far just to kind of get it going. I will be waiting till the schedule really comes out to be doing more, but wanted to see what it was like. Tell us a little bit more about Underdog.
Yeah, support the people who support us. The show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. As you see on the screen, Best Ball Mania 4, as you mentioned, is out. I will not be drafting yet. I'm going to wait till the season's over. But a lot of edge drafting early, so check that out. They still got NBA Pick'em. You can use our projections for their fantasy Pick'em game. I know people actually read matchups and draft their underdog teams based on that and have had success. So shout out to you guys. But if you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, use promo code ETR for a $100 deposit match. Promo code ETR at underdogfantasy.com and get the money right away. So, yeah, excited. We just found out that some teams got through some overlay for some people. I did not luck out with any overlay teams going through. So the dance is through for the second round. I got 13 through. Could have been a little bit better, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it was rough, man. Obviously, with only Golden State, Sacramento going 7, and I think a lot of people were banking on Cleveland, New York being a helpful series. I only went 5, so I only got 13 through as well of 97. So really bad advance rate for me, but hopefully one of those 13.
All you need is one.
Can sneak through. That's it. Really excited to watch that play out here in the second round. And as I mentioned, we will see you again at 5 o'clock behind the paywall, or if not, we'll be back with you tomorrow, same time, same place, 2 o'clock YouTube, to talk through any injuries for tomorrow. And there'll be a handful, because Julius Randle for the Knicks, you know, and a handful
Butler.
of Jimmy Butler now, absolutely. So you know, we'll be back to talk that through tomorrow. Until then, best of luck with all your games today, and we will see you then. Take care, everybody.